My great-grandmother received an interesting letter one time. Apparently a cemetery was being moved where she had some relatives that were buried, and they were asking her permission if they could move the graves of her relatives to the location where it was going to be relocated. And she said that was fine with her because, after all, there was probably really nothing left there anyway. These people have been buried there a long, long time, and this was before the sophistication of a vault that would seal and all the things that we know are common with burials today. And it was just a wooden casket, and so she knew that there was really nothing left there of the bodies or even the casket probably to be moved. Physical death really doesn't have a lot to offer once it occurs. In the 12th chapter of the book of Ecclesiastes, in about the first 7 verses of that chapter, Solomon talks about some of the things that happen with aging, and then as he draws all of that to a close, he does say that eventually what is common to all man is death. In fact, in Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 7, he says, "Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return to God who gave it." And we're immediately probably reminded of Genesis chapter 1 and 2 about the creation when we read that verse, because there we're told that God made man out of the dust of the earth, and that he also breathed into his nostrils the spirit of life that made man a living soul. Matthew Henry in his commentary says that man is kind of an interesting amalgamation of a clod of dirt and a ray of heaven. And it's pretty interesting when you think about that we are just made of the earth. We're made of dirt, and to dust we will return. But there's also something about us that's not physical or earthly at all, and it's the spirit that God gave us when he breathed into human beings, into mankind, that time that he gave the spirit of life and the breath of life to Adam. And we see that although a person may die physically, dust will be like as it was before. That's what will happen to us. The spirit that we have given to us by God, the text tells us, will return to God who gave it. You see, we belong to God. We belong to God ever since the beginning. And God has that rightful claim on our soul. And although physical death doesn't have much to offer, there's something that will never die. And that's our spirit, that's our soul. That's the part of us that will live for all eternity. That's the great blessing we have of knowing that even though death happens, death doesn't happen.